Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. Hope you're having a great Friday. We are live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Mitch Moss, along with Matt Youmans. He is in today for Paulie Howard. Day of vacation for Paulie. 3 games tonight in the preseason of the National Football League. A bunch of games tomorrow. We'll talk about one of them here as we head out to the Progressive guest line. D. Orlando Ledbetter joins the program. You can follow him on X at D. Orlando AJC. Falcons beat writer for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. D, thanks for the time today. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, Mitch and Matt. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Always a pleasure to have you on the program, sir. Thank you for the time. Let's begin with this. I've heard some negativity about how Michael Penix has looked so far in camp with the Falcons. Would you second that notion? And I'll ask you this as a follow-up. Do you think the leash could be a little short for him this year, where the team could consider going to, Kirk Cousins maybe earlier than expected?
No, I don't. I think they're all in on Michael. I think he's having a fine camp. There's some things he's got. A short game's got to be proficient more at a higher level, and they're working on that. So I see that coming along. There were folks that want to capture the 58% completion rate and translate that into him being an inaccurate passer. And that's just not the case. He was playing with guys that he had not practiced with all year long. So he just kind of threw him in a bad situation. I think he'll be up 64, 65, right where he was in college and so forth. So, that little negativity is what you're hearing is they're latching on to that 58% and then trying to extrapolate those 3 games into the off season and the first couple of weeks of camp. I think he'll be just fine. Not a short leash because, they committed to him for the future. But, the fact is he has had an injury history. And, you got a backup quarterback there that could come and get you through a couple games for sure if something happens to it.
Orlando, what's going to be the setup tonight at quarterback for the Falcons? Penix, Cousins, Stick, Easton Stick, Emory Jones. Who's going to start? How is the playing time going to be divided tonight against Detroit?
Yeah, they are. The Penix and Cousins are not going to play. Coach Moore said that earlier this week. So we're going to see the Easton Stick show, and Emory Jones will be on in relief. Emory, the pride and joy of Heard County, Georgia, will have a family and friends day here at the stadium when he gets in the game.
Well, Easton Stick is not a quarterback I really want to bet on, but what do you expect from Emory Jones tonight? Like you said, it's he's going to be playing in front of basically his home crowd here. He's a guy who's a mobile quarterback who can get out and make things happen. Do you think the Falcons are in a better situation with Emory Jones at quarterback than they are with Easton Stick tonight? Easton Stick is here to help in the meeting rooms, help with Mike, help him get him prepared for the season. He's a veteran. He's an upgrade, perhaps, over Nate Peterman, who was here last year. And Emory Jones was brought on late in the year to help the defenses get ready for athletic and mobile quarterbacks. He was brought in before the Washington game, and I think they can continue to keep him in that role as they move forward.
Which position do you want to watch the most that could be up in the air entering tonight and could be a weakness for the team once the regular season rolls around?
Yeah, you got the 2 first-round picks. They were drafted to help the pass rush. I doubt they're going to play Leonard Floyd and Ebiketie, but I want to see James Pierce and Jalen Walker get into some pass rush situations because, as you know, the Falcons only had 31 sacks last year, and they need to get some activity there in the pocket. So those 2 guys are who everybody wants to see tonight. On the secondary level, Ruka Roru, second-year guy, penciled in to take over for Grady Jarrett. Don't want to see him get pushed around tonight. That'd be big. And old Raider, Devon Diablo, supposed to take over one of the inside spots. So everything's on defense as far as what the Falcons fans and people in Atlanta are going to be looking for tonight in this game.
Orlando, when you talk about fast food franchises in Atlanta and Georgia and the South, is Chick-fil-A the undisputed king, or what's the biggest threat to Chick-fil-A down there?
Yeah, no doubt. Chick-fil-A and the biggest threat is the Waffle House because they stay open all night.
I can see that for sure. All right, so how about Bijan Robinson, a running back? How much is he going to play in the preseason? He's probably not going to play at all tonight, right? Yeah, he's not going to play at all. He didn't play at all last season. He went to the regular season with all the starters not playing, and showed in that first game, lost to the Steelers, but then they went and beat the Eagles in week 2. So Raheem is confident in his don't play plan, trying to mitigate injuries, and he's trying to do that again here by not playing people in the exhibition season. They do have a joint practice with the Titans coming up, and they'll have to play the guys in those joint practices.
So you're saying that, basically none of the skilled guys are going to play at all in the preseason, if you had to take a guess right now?
That's correct. That's what he did last year, and he said he's going to kind of stick close to that plan. If he can see what he wants in practice, and in these joint practices, yeah, we're not going to see him on next Friday against Tennessee or the following Friday in Dallas. Real dicey situation for our fantasy people.
Falcons going to open in week 1 against Tampa Bay. Orlando, you're one of the beat writers we talked to who's never a homer. You're not a cheerleader for your team. Things are not always positive. And I believe last year you were saying bet the Bucs to win the division. How do you handicap it this year? Again, the Bucs are going to open in Atlanta week 1.
Yeah, I'm a little bit, I'm thinking the Bucs again here, but, the Falcons look a bit better than they did last year because they beat the Bucs twice, and they let Kirk Cousins hijack the season, letting him play with an injury when they should have set him down. So they had a 3-game lead on the Bucs with 8 to go and managed to kick it away. But this year, if the offense can roll under Penix and he can put together some defense, they'll challenge them. But right now, I think you still got to go with Tampa Bay. They got Mika in the draft to go with Godwin and Evans. That was probably their worst defense in years under Todd Bowles, so they'll be better over there. I don't see any reason why to move off of the Bucs right now.
Looking at the win totals right now, DraftKings 9.5 for the Bucs, 7.5 for the Falcons, 6.5 Panthers, 5.5 Saints. Is that win total low on the Falcons?
Yeah, I think that's low. I'm thinking, 9's their floor, and then probably 12's their ceiling, if everything goes right. Maybe they could do a Washington-type deal if they can get hot and upset some folks. But I think they can get to 9, and, that probably will leave them at home for the playoffs, but it'd be a winning season, their first since 2017.
Let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, D. Orlando Ledbetter. He's the Falcons beat writer for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, and he is on the Progressive Guest Line. Like many people, I was super high on tight end Kyle Pitts coming out of the Florida Gators. Hasn't really panned out so far in his career with the Falcons. Can you sell me on him having a good season this year, like 1,000 yards? He's going to be a 4, scoring touchdowns with Penix at quarterback, or has that ship sailed?
Yeah, I think that ship has sailed. I've been trying hard to see the best possible life for Pitts. But when I was just up in Canton for the Hall of Fame, went back and looked at all the tight ends with Gates coming in, and all of them were well on their way by year 5. They weren't trying to catch lightning in a bottle. They had 2 or 3 Pro Bowls. Talk about Tony Gonzalez, Shannon Sharp, Gates. Those guys by the 5th year were on their way. So I'm just thinking this is who Pitts is, a 600-yard guy with a couple of touchdowns. Even a 1,000-yard year with Matt Ryan, he only had 1 touchdown. So I don't really anticipate him exploding this year and turning into, Travis Kelce or anything after year 4, and now into year 5.
So the Lions are favored by 3.5 tonight in Atlanta. Total 33, pretty much across the board. How would you bet this game if you had to?
Well, it sounds like the underdogs are doing pretty good from yesterday, so I would take the 3.5, and I might go under. I just don't believe in the Eastern Stick Machine. 0-4 of his starter. They do got some receivers, but yeah, Stick, he got a chance to play there in 2023, and we didn't see too much from him. So, yeah, I go under and take the underdog, the home dogs on this one, and be before sparse crowd here at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Hey, I'm not a big believer in the Easton Stick Machine either, and it looks like this is going to be an ugly game with these quarterbacks set to play tonight. Quick question for you. One more team in the division. We're going to see Cleveland, Carolina tonight. Panthers 6-point favorites. Similar total, 33.5. Are you a believer in Bryce Young, or you need to see more after what he did to finish last season?
Yeah, I need to see a little bit more because some of that was jump balls and just throwing stuff up. So they went out and got him T-Mac, somebody to throw it up to some more, and they'll lean heavily on the run game. So he came down here and dropped 44 on these guys when they was trying to go to the playoffs. So I'm reluctant to go all in, but hey, maybe Dave Canales, the quarterback whisperer, has solved another riddle for one of the quarterbacks in the league.
Quite possible. You can follow D on X. He's at D Orlando AJC. Does a great job covering the Falcons as their beat writer for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Enjoy the game tonight.
All right. Thank you, Mitch and Matt. Thanks for having me on Follow the Money.
We appreciate it. Back at you. Okay, so
Waffle House.
I haven't been there in probably 35 years.
Are you serious?
I don't even know where they are.
I think about it.
I think there's one in Phoenix, but that's,
Yeah, the last time I went to one was in Albuquerque, so it's been a while. I go to Denny's every week.
Every week?
Yeah.
Oh, get out of here.
I love Denny's. Yeah. Why?
Are they that close?
They're all over the place in Vegas.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There's one right next to Del Mar Racetrack, too. That's where I stop before I go on the track every time.
Every week? You just call me off. I thought you were going to say like every month, whatever, yeah.
By the way, Paul Howard yesterday fighting me on the Popeyes chicken sandwich. When was the last time you think he actually went to Popeyes and had that chicken sandwich?
Good question.
What do you think?
I haven't had it since the pandemic.
I was going to say, it's been at least a couple of years, right?
Yeah, it has been. We'll get into today's Major League Baseball card coming up next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We do have baseball games starting soon, and I must tell you, the schedule this weekend in baseball is outstanding. We have like 6 or 7 series that I would say are huge for, a potential impact on the future of these teams, where they're going to land, if they're going to make the playoffs or not. Your Yankees are taking on the Astros tonight at Yankee Stadium. Hunter Brown takes on Schlittler.
Damn Schlittler, rookie.
Who's been, he was really good at first, throwing that 100-mile-an-hour fastball by batters, kind of hit and miss since. He's walking a lot of guys, has kind of a high ERA. He's made 3 starts since the All-Star break. Meanwhile, Hunter Brown here for the Astros, and the Yankees are now favored -115 here at Circa. Brown since the break, 2.81 ERA, FIP's even better, 10 Ks per 9, has allowed a home run.
Astros or pass here. And again, looking at Cam Schlittler, not been that great recently. I mean, he's capable of pitching well tonight, but again, over the last 3 starts, 14 innings, a 4.40 ERA. The thing about Schlittler, you mentioned, he's got 19 innings for the season. He's walked 11. And he's got a whip of 168. He's putting way too many guys on base. And Yankees right now just not good enough defensively, not good enough running the bases. Their fundamental defense has been poor, and their bullpen has been a problem, Mitch. So, again, it'd be Astros or pass for me. I'm probably going to pass on this game, but not going to lay it with the Yankees.
Is this a fair comment? I completely will admit that I'm living in the moment here. That was a big win, and I'm not going to call it a had-to-have-a game, but it was a big win for the Yankees in their last game out to get at least one against the Rangers.
It was a big win because it stopped the bleeding and it stopped the criticism a little bit. The Yankees are catching so much crap from the media in New York and the national media, and they deserve it, right? Aaron Boone deserves it.
Every second of it.
He brings in Devin Williams on back-to-back nights after he blows the save one night, brings him back the next night. What are you doing? You bring him back the next night and he blows it again. And they do look like the bad news bears at times with their defensive blunders and all the mistakes they make. So to get that win in that final game of the series, with Bednar getting the save, by the way.
Oh, that's right.
With a really
two innings, right?
Yeah, really strong performance to save the game. I think you're right. That was big for the Yankees.
You have a bet tonight on the Blue Jays against the Dodgers. It's Max Scherzer. This game would have been like the marquee pitching matchup of the entire year, 7-8 years ago?
Yeah.
Scherzer and Kershaw. I will say this.
Even 5-6 years ago, still pretty good, right?
Yeah, you're right. A little bit more money coming on Toronto here. down to plus 119 as we speak. It needs to be pointed out that Scherzer, since the All-Star break, has an ERA of 4, but he's striking out 10 guys per 9.
Yeah.
He's allowing the long ball. Kershaw, not awful, 3.00 with the ERA, FIP even better than that, xFIP higher, but not striking out guys, hasn't allowed a home run, league average with batting average of balls in play. A couple of guys, if you're looking at for player props tonight, Conforto against Mad Max, 12 of 39, 4 home runs and a double. Freeman against Scherzer, 11 of 53. That's not great. It's only 208, 4 doubles and 3 home runs. But how about Bo Bichette tonight against Kershaw? It's a very small sample size. This means nothing, basically, 2 of 3 with 2 home runs. But it's more about season-long form and recent form with Bichette. The kid's on fire.
Well, he is. You know, I think Anthony Volpe's still got more homers than Bo Bichette right now.
I think you're right with that, yeah.
How hard is that to believe?
I know.
In fact, I think Volpe might have as many homers or more than Vlad Guerrero Jr.
He does?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
It's kind of insane to think about. Let me double-check. Volpe's got 17 homers. And the last I checked, these stars for the Blue Jays were lagging behind him in that category, which is, I think, hard for a lot of people to believe. George Springer's got 18. He's the team leader for the Blue Jays. Bichette has 16, and Vlad has 18 now, too. So
okay.
Anthony Volpe with 17 homers. His defense has been a problem, but he's been hitting with power for the Yankees. Here's the thing. I think Scherzer, I know Kershaw's had a couple good starts recently, but as I was talking about early in the show, his velocity's down. He's got to fool hitters with junk and with his pitching IQ, and he can do that. But I think this Blue Jays lineup has got enough bats in it to get to him tonight. And Scherzer has not been great, but like you said, 10 Ks per 9. He's got a lot of other numbers that have kind of pointed in the right direction here. Blue Jays were plus 133 here at Circa at one point. I actually have not played this yet.
Oh, you haven't? Okay.
Nah, maybe I waited too long. Because right now the best number I see in the market's at the Superbook, and it's plus 120. But, yeah, I came in here. We were talking about what do you like tonight, and I said, well, the 2 dogs that jumped out to me tonight are the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. And I have not played the Blue Jays yet, and I'm not sure if I will.
Tell you what, I mean, this could go either way.
I hate, you could have plus 133, and you hate to just bet it at plus 120 at this point.
Sure. It's going to be squeaky bum time here. If the Blue Jays go to L.A. and they happen to sweep them or take 2 out of 3.
Dodgers are struggling, man.
Oh, yeah. And what if the Padres then would flip the script here and take 2 out of 3 or possibly sweep the Red Sox? We're talking about a division that could be tied potentially by the end of the weekend. And then they play, I think, each other 6 times this month yet coming up.
Yeah, and the Padres struggle to beat the Dodgers head-to-head. But the Dodgers are not playing good baseball right now.
But I'll go the other way here, too.
How about that game Shohei Ohtani had 2 days ago?
Don't remind me. Don't remind me.
That's right. You bet that. Did you bet that?
No, I cannot have that guy win the MVP again.
Oh, okay. He was so good on the mound, and he hit 2 homers, and the Dodgers lose the freaking game.
Yeah.
Huh?
So what if they sweep the Blue Jays and the Red Sox do the same thing to the Padres? That's why every series here this weekend is big.
Oh, there are a lot of big series, yeah.
Yeah.
And these 2, actually 3 series, talk about Astros, Yankees, Blue Jays, Dodgers, Red Sox, Padres. Those are big-time series this weekend in New York, L.A., and San Diego.
And that's not it. I think Rays, Mariners could be huge, right? Based on the Astros playing in Yankee Stadium. Tonight, this is not easy for Castillo. Rasmussen's good, and he's been super good since the All-Star break. You have the Mets and Brewers, Phillies and Rangers. So I would point this out. Man, is this still a lack of respect for the Brewers? Woodruff is going. Guy's been awesome since he came back from the injury. In 3 starts since the break, ERA is 2, 9.5 Ks per 9. He's getting lucky with the batting average of balls and plates, that 125, so that's going to come back. But Senga's been terrible for the Mets for 3 straight starts. And the Brewers were like $1.20 in this game today. Now they're back home after a long road trip, but they had okay. Wait, is that right? Is it up to $1.60 now?
Yeah, this morning at Circa, it was 136, 140. It's worked its way all the way up. Now Brewers taking a lot of money in the market up to 157 here and 165 at some spots. So you're right, it was too low.
It was
the betting
too low,
market
yeah. Overnight it was $1.20.
I know. I thought, why is that price so low on the Brewers? Betting market has corrected that. Now you're up around 160.
Now I actually think it's too high. $1.60 feels a touch high, doesn't it?
The right price, I think, in this game is about 150.
Yeah.
I could not figure out why it was 120 overnight. I thought, okay, there must be something I don't know here. Cubs are 155 at St. Louis, and I want to back Matthew Boyd, but again, that price is a little bit too high for me to lay with the Cubs.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I'll tell you one thing that bothers me a lot about Craig Counsell. You're a Brewers fan. You grew up in. Are you still?
Yeah, I was off the team after Ryan Braun absolutely ruined that guy's life.
Oh,
and Ryan Braun went back to the stadium and got a standing ovation and made me vomit.
Terrible.
But other than that, yeah.
Craig Counsell, manager of the Cubs, was talking with Mike North about this. Counsell is an overpaid bust. He's way overrated as a manager. He cannot wait to pull his starting pitchers.
Oh, he loves to yank them.
In the seventh inning, he had Shota Imanaga, after 92 pitches, strikes out Ellie De La Cruz to start the seventh inning a couple nights ago. Walks out to the mound, takes him out after 92. Why? He's in control of the game at 92 pitches, takes him out. Mitch, what happened?
No, I can take a wild guess.
The Reds scored 4 runs in the next 5 minutes as the bullpen blew up.
Totally
why is Counsell paid that? What's he paid? $8 million a year to be the Cubs?
And look at the Brewers' success since he left.
I know. The Brewers keep winning. They don't miss him at all.
It's incredible.
In fact, they're better without him.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They are. And this is a fascinating pitching matchup, too, as Suarez goes for the Phillies against Merrill Kelly and the Rangers.
Right.
Suarez, since the break, 23 innings, a 1.9 ERA, striking out almost 9 guys per 9. I will point out that Rodon stayed under his K prop this week against Texas, but lefty starters on the year are 21-8 over their K prop against Texas.
Friend.
Yeah.
Actionable. How many plays you got in baseball tonight?
I have. I got to check 2 or 3. They're all K props. All K props.
Okay. We got best bets coming back. Or no?
Not yet. No.
We're going to talk Rams next.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford's back injury could be a big problem.
Yeah.
I hope it's not, because you and I are both invested in the Rams. We're going to find out Monday. There's a chance he might return to practice. We're going to get a Rams practice report coming up. If you like to look at betting splits, check them out. Right now, VSiN's betting splits on vsin.com, straight from Circa and DraftKings Sportsbooks. Track the percentage of bets and the handle on every game across the board. Start your edge today for just $9.99 at vsin.com/subscribe.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
A lot of NFL coming here. Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss, Matt Youmans, he's in for Paulie Howard here on a Friday. And we head out now to the Progressive Guest Line as Gilbert Manzano joins the program, staff writer, covers the NFL for Sports Illustrated. Gilbert, thanks for the time today. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I probably shouldn't complain about the weather because you guys are in Vegas, but here in LA, it's almost 100 degrees. So it's a hot day today.
Almost. What do you do in LA when it's 100 degrees? You go running for the beach?
Yeah, I guess. Well, I hate crowds. I hate to be around a lot of people, so I feel like on a 100-degree weather it would be pretty crowded. So I just stay indoors and being in the AC. You know, that's
in the
AC. You guys do in Vegas too, right?
Yeah, it's a good move. Yeah. Well, let's begin here. We are a gambling network, and Matt and I both have some nice bets on the Rams to win the Super Bowl this year, among other bets. We're kind of freaking out because of the back injury to Matthew Stafford. Others who I don't think are gamblers are saying, don't worry about it, guys. He's going to be okay. Where are you at about a month away from week 1 with his back?
Yeah, it is very concerning, and it's getting to the point where I start thinking about, okay, what about a different team to win the NFC West? And it's a very close division, but I'll say this for some positivity on the Rams. Like, you know, I'm going to go with them because they are just have a proven track record. And I'll say this also. The schedule is pretty easy to start for a month. So say it's worst case scenarios, and I don't think Matthew Stafford is anywhere near to possibly missing the season, but say he misses some games for a worst case scenario. You get like the Titans coming up. You got the Texans. The Texans are decent, but you get this AFC South schedule. So roll out Jimmy G and just throw to Devontae and Puka Nacua, and you got a great pass rush. Maybe you survive. And as we've seen with this Rams team, the last few years, I think they started like 1-4, 1-3. They know how to come back from struggling first months to win a division, which they did last year. So I won't say I'm totally panicking, but I think it's more of a testament to the division. I think it's very close. I could see Arizona, Seattle, San Francisco win the division. So it's a very tight race. But when you have Sean McVay and you have the weapons that you have with skilled players and pass rushers, and when Stafford comes back, I think that should be okay. So say they go 2-2 for the first month, I think they'll be all right. So to me, I'm not totally worried about it, but it's more about the competition in the division, though.
Sean McVay's 8 years, Rams have won the NFC West 4 times, made the playoffs 6 times. So do you have what have you heard about Matthew Stafford's back injury? And I know there's reports that he could return to practice on Monday, but do you have to be concerned that this is a thing that could linger well into the season? Have you heard anything?
I think it's more about an annoyance of an injury occurring when they were away during the break. And it's more like, okay, we're tired of doing this 1-year contract with Stafford. Like, I think this might be it. Might be the final year in LA, and they move on next year. And they have 2 first-round picks from that trade with the Falcons in the draft. So it seems like a good time to cut ties for next year. But I think for this year, they're still on track. They're all in, and it's just kind of a little bit of annoyance. And they started talking about, people around the Rams saying it's kind of maybe a blessing. You're looking for a positive right now at this moment. And it's like for the wear and tear for a guy who's been in the league for such a long time, who has so many injuries with his Detroit days, that you rather have him fresh, for the back end of the season. And you don't really need him out there for training camp. So that's kind of the positive spin. But when you think about it from the last few years, what Stafford has dealt with the spine injury, you got the back injury, an elbow injury. It just starts adding up to the point where, like, does he just fall apart like Kirk Cousins? Like Kirk Cousins was great for 2 months, and then out of nowhere, he was just showed his age, showed his injuries that have caught up. Like, I don't think it's going to happen to Stafford, or what was it, Peyton Manning's final year in Denver? He just couldn't really move around anymore. So it's more about managing the miles on the body where he'll come back. So I don't think they're at the point where he's going to miss games. I think Sean McVay was telling the media that he will probably practice in a limited capacity next week, and he won't be part of the scrimmage with the Chargers on Wednesday. So they're going to kind of wrap him up for week 1. So when I'm saying worst case scenario, it's probably missing a game or 2, but I don't think we're headed that way. So if Stafford's around and he's able to go, then I think it's fine. And then for another positive too, with Stafford, I think the O-line is actually in better shape than I thought. The offensive line I was worried about because the right tackle, Rob Havenstein, had like shoulder procedures on both shoulders, but he was out there practicing when I was there. The left tackle, Alec Jackson, was dealing with blood clots. He's been practicing. I think they really like that Coleman Shelton, the center, is back. I know in Chicago he was pretty bad, but maybe that's more about Caleb Williams holding the ball too long, and he was pretty good with the Rams before he left to Chicago. So I feel better about the O-line, like Kevin Dotson, Steve Aguilar. So if you can have a good running game, Kyron Williams got re-signed too. There's just too many good pieces to not go with the Rams here. So to me, even though I like the 49ers and their easy schedule, I like, Arizona because of what they did defensively. And Seattle to an extent, I like that they're trying something differently, but I still got to go with what I know. And I think the LA Rams should be fine in that division.
It's funny, every time you hear somebody say they like the Niners, the first thing they say is easy schedule.
Yeah, sure.
Soft schedule, right? With the 49ers, and their win total 10.5 top the division. Rams 9.5, much more difficult schedule. Gilbert, Manzano with us, SI. You were in Cardinals camp last week, and we're talking about this NFC West. Where do the Cardinals fit into the picture? What do you expect from that team? What did you see when you were in Cardinals camp?
Yeah, so if I had to pick a number 2 team in the division and I'll tell you guys this, I think there's going to be 2 playoff teams from this division, the NFC West. I think the NFC North might take a step back. I do like the NFC East a little more, but the Cowboys, kind of got me worried there. And the NFC South is always going to have 1 team, I feel like. So the NFC West, I want to give them 2 teams. And for that second team, I'm going to go with Arizona. I don't feel too good about it, but I was pretty high in Arizona last year, and I think I was taking my victory lap too soon when they were 6-4. They came out of the bye week and had 2 critical games in 3 weeks against Seattle, and they lost both games. They lost to Minnesota in between that, so it was a 3-game losing streak. But, I guess, I didn't get that one right, but it kind of feels like a stock. Like, I don't want to leave Arizona just yet, especially after they got all the weapons defensively. Like, one thing about Jonathan Gannon, the coaching staff there, I don't think he's proven himself just yet to be a great game manager, or maybe we don't see Arizona in primetime enough. But he knows how to coach defense. He knows how to have guys in the right place. He knows how to have a scheme. He knows how to get people to buy into the scheme. And that was doing it without talent last year. Now you go and you get Josh Sweat to be your number 1 edge rusher. You drafted Will Johnson in the second round, who fell to the second round. But Will Johnson is looking great. When I was there in Arizona, he's pretty much the number 1 cornerback already. Walter Nolan has not played or practiced this training camp, the first-round pick out of Ole Miss. But the potential for him, they really like what he brings. And I was talking to the defensive coordinator there, Nick Rawlings, about Walter Nolan. So during the offseason program, whenever he got one-on-one matchups, he was dominating. So they like his upside too. So I'm going to stick with them. Kyler Murray, for me, is the X factor. I don't know if I could trust Kyler Murray. He just seems uncomfortable with the scheme there with Drew Petzing, and I was a little disappointed in the OC there. He couldn't get good plays for Marvin Harrison Jr. last year, but I think maybe that year of trying to figure out what works, how do you put guys in positions to succeed? I think maybe that familiarity from last year could carry over. So I'm going to trust Kyler Murray. I'm going to trust the play caller. Like, you think about it, on paper, they have a lot of weapons. Trey McBride, James Conner is still reliable. You have a good left tackle in Paris Johnson Jr. So, we'll see what the other guys on the receiving do as Michael Wilson does. You have a lot of talent to me. So, I'm going to take a chance on Arizona, and I'm going to say they're going to be a playoff team this year.
All right, Gilbert, we have like 90 seconds left here. We kicked around the Denver Broncos earlier in the show. We like their win total over 9.5, potentially to win that division, but not quite a Super Bowl contender yet because they need to take baby steps is what we kind of think. That's the path for certain, most teams anyway, before they win a title. How good do you think Denver is going to be this year?
Yeah, if the number is 10, I'll go with the over 2. It's tough to say they won the division because you got Kansas City. And the trick here is, are they better than the Chargers? And the Chargers lost their left tackle, Rashawn Slater. And you know what? I'm going to say yes, even though I like Justin Herbert better than Bo Nix. But the defense, when I was out in Denver, was lights out. They're very good. And you got Surtain as your corner. You got Nick Bonino as your edge rusher. I think Zach Allen just got paid. So they're loaded defensively. The thing about Bo Nix, he might not be a superstar, but he knows how to play in Sean Payton's scheme. And Sean Payton's scheme is so complicated that you got Sean Payton raving to my colleague Albert Breer that this guy's going to be a superstar. I don't know if I buy that yet, but if Sean Payton is, trying to boost you, I think that means he really likes what he has. So I could see progression in year 2. I just don't think they have enough skill players to win the division. I kind of worry about RJ Harvey. Why did you bring in J.K. Dobbins? Do you have a number 1 receiver? I like Cortland Sutton, but he's not a number 1. The tight end, Evan Ingram, could maybe do something. He was hurt last year. Decent O-line. But defensively, they're stacked. And I think if they're good enough offensively, they could definitely win 10 games. So I will take the over. They're not Super Bowl contenders, but they're definitely playoff contenders. And I think they'll be better than last year.
Very good. You can follow Gilbert on X. He's at GManzano24. Does a great job covering the NFL for Sports Illustrated. Gilbert, thanks for the time. Enjoy the NFL this weekend.
Thanks, Gilbert.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Appreciate your time, guys. Appreciate it.
There you go. Circa Survivor, The Quest for $14.2 million, a 10-part documentary series following the drama, strategy, the heartbreak inside the world's largest legal football contest. Episodes air nightly at 9 p.m. Eastern through Saturday right here on VSiN. Final 5 episodes next week, the 12th through the 16th. You can go to vsin.com/survivor to watch it for yourself.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Paul Stone came to town last week, Mitch, and he hammered Texas, Ohio State under the total of 50.5. The markets moved down to about 48.5 on that game.
Wow.
But how great is that? They open the season with number 1 versus number 2. The VSiN College Football Guide is out now. Get it? We have previews of all 136 teams, preseason top 25, which I put together with the help of Paul Stone and Chris the Bear Felica. Power ratings, betting systems, best bets. Sign up now. You get the college football and NFL guides at the same time. Start today for just $9.99 or you get a full year and you save 50% with the VSiN Pro annual subscription. Sign up now at vsin.com/subscribe.
He knows the quarterback was on coke if his girlfriend was not.
These games are a burial, a blowout, a human lock. You can bet your unborn children's children on these games.
I was so good that whenever I bet, I could change the odds for every bookmaker in the country.
All right, in pocket here. Before I tell you why I eviscerated you, the Bear, and Paul Stone the other day on the show.
You did?
Not really, but I'll get to that coming up in a second. I had a loser last night on the Raiders Seahawks under 37.5. It was looking pretty good there in the first quarter, even at times in the first half, and then late third quarter, it got down to 34.5. I think it was late third quarter. I'm like, see if I can maybe middle this. I didn't, and then the game exploded. And look, I have to tip my cap to Aiden O'Connell. Even the broadcasters there, all wearing the Las Vegas Raiders silver and black in the booth, right?
Yeah.
Rich Gannon among them. They were blasting the entire team in the first half because they deserved it and looked terrible. AOC was right at the forefront.
It was awful.
Terrible. Came back in the second half, totally different quarterback. And once they scored that first touchdown, Pete Carroll likes winning preseason games. Like his entire history tells you that. He's got a really good record. They were playing with like a sense of urgency. They're taking shots. They're trying to move the ball up and down the field. They tried to win the game, and AOC looked good in the second half.
Well, that opening drive changed the game, and that's where you lost your bet, really, because when O'Connell, he was pinpoint accurate on those throws in that touchdown drive, and when the Raiders pulled within 16-10, Pete Carroll's juiced, energized on the sideline. You could tell he wanted to win the game. You could sense they could win the game, and O'Connell kind of changed things around right there. So that's where the game was headed over the total. Well, after that touchdown drive, I knew you were in trouble because I knew you played the under, and I said this game could blow up here in the second half.
Yeah, you are phenomenal at giving people nicknames. Your latest here is Bubble Boy with Aaron Boone, which is absolutely fantastic.
How many times does the camera flip to Aaron Boone during a game, and he's chomping on gum and then just blows a giant bubble? It's like a 12-year-old's running the Yankees.
Yeah. Now, I brought that up because, and this goes, again, throughout his entire career, how many pieces of bubble gum does Pete Carroll go through during a game?
I don't know.
And how do you chew gum that fast?
Constantly. First of all, I hate chewing gum. I don't know about you. To me, it's a constant distraction when you're chewing gum.
Hurts your jaw?
You chew gum much?
No, I don't. I used to like gum. I don't anymore.
It's very annoying. When you're chewing gum, that's what you're thinking about. You're chewing gum, constantly chomping.
There's no way he can think about chewing the gum because he's...
Pete Carroll is crazy in the way he chews gum, just constantly chomping on it, running up and down the sideline. And
honestly,
I don't know how Aaron... See, I don't think Aaron Boone... I call him Airhead Boone, too, because I don't think he's really thinking throughout the game. He's just sitting there chewing gum, blowing bubbles.
Now, if you saw Pete Carroll, and I'm not saying this about him, obviously, but if you saw another human being not named Pete Carroll next to you at a bank chewing gum that fast,
I think he's a psycho.
You think you're going to get murdered? He's going to rob the bank, or he is on a ton of illegal drugs.
Right. Who is this goofball on meth over here chewing gum like a madman? Right.
All right. So tonight, I do have a play here. I'm going to put
having
this in
a good
pocket.
month so far, it looks like, huh?
No, it's been a rough summer, Matthew. It's been a very rough summer for me. Betting baseball gave back more than 30 units.
Baseball's been tough. I'm going to say that I had a good run for a while, but, man, over the last 6 weeks, baseball's not been very good to me, and I've actually cut that way back on the number of baseball games I bet, too.
Yeah. So I'm betting, we talked to Chuck Edel earlier, Panthers guys are going to give it a shot here for, he said, 8 to 12 plays. Shedeur Sanders doesn't look good. He's going to get the start. There is a first quarter number available right now. I bet it at BetMGM. I laid a ½ point in the first quarter with the Panthers minus 105.
I'm going to follow you on that bet. We're going to be out at Stadium Swim right after the show. Holly Howard's got the beer ready for us, right?
He said, have Matt get ready. Tons of Coors Light.
I don't drink Coors Light.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't drink light beer. Bud Heavy.
how many
Can you
light
get that for us?
how many light beers could you go through in 110-degree heat at Stadium Swim? 35?
At least. Easy. I don't want to, though. I hate drinking light beer.
I just
don't like it. Tastes like water. Well, I'm going to follow you on that bet. I fired up my BetMGM app again. I purposely pulled the money out after the Masters or NFL draft because I don't want to lose on those accounts betting too much baseball over the summer. So I filled the account again last week just in time to get the Raiders plus 1.5 at Seattle because that was the best number in town and BetMGM had that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good job.
And it worked.
Good job out of you, yeah.
That was Sunday. I was on the show with JVT Sunday morning, and we talked about the preseason games, and we agreed we liked the Raiders in that game.
Yeah.
The only book in town that still had Raiders plus 1.5 was BetMGM.
I should have followed you on that. I more specifically should have said, like in May, baseball, I'm dialing it way back.
It's very difficult to win consistently in baseball.
I tip my cap to those who can do it.
I can give you a lot of examples of well-known pro sports bettors and touts who have had disastrous baseball seasons on the record.
It is a 6-month season.
I know.
And there's not a lot of other stuff going on.
A lot of times these guys will quit betting baseball when you get into August, too, because you're shifting into football.
You know, I recently had multiple people tell me that they don't bet in July.
They stop around July 4th.
It's
right?
summer.
Yeah.
They will enjoy themselves, and they're like, I need to gear up for football. I'm not going to get involved here this month.
More or less, that's kind of the way I look at it as well.
Yeah.
I think you need to take a little bit of a break because you're going to be grinding now for the next 9 months, especially college football, NFL, college basketball, everything you're doing. I still like to bet baseball, but I'm not firing 5 baseball bets a day. Not doing it right now.
I like to pay attention to it a lot. I always have since I was a kid. And so anyway, that's that. I got nothing more to add.
All right, I got a few plays for you here. We've been talking about how ugly this game could be tonight between the Lions and the Falcons.
Sure.
And you and I don't like the backup quarterback rotations we're going to see for Detroit and Atlanta. Let's go under 33, a grinder between the Lions and Falcons tonight. I'm going to play. We've got 4 overs so far in the NFL preseason.
4 for 4.
Mitch, all these games are not going to be shootouts. And this is the type of game where I think with these quarterbacks, you're not going to see much offense. Not many fireworks in this game between the Lions and the Falcons. Baseball betting is a lot about the price. And I missed the best price on the Blue Jays, but I went ahead and played it while we were talking. I jumped on the app. Westgate's got the best price here. Blue Jays plus 120. And anytime the Padres get to be big favorites, I think you have to look the other way. I'm going Red Sox plus 150. So a couple of dogs tonight on the West Coast. Red Sox plus 150, Blue Jays plus 120. So we got Walker Buehler and Mad Max Scherzer in the underdog role.
Very good.
I thought about playing the Padres over the team total of 4.5. Do you like that tonight?
I think I like the game over 8.
Game over 8. It seems like a decent bet, too.
I'll give you, while you're looking for the G-Bank, I did bet 2 other games today, 2 of the props. But they moved too much, so it's, I think, unfair. I never got them up on the website in time. Last night, I'm looking at the Ballpark website, which you can also find at vsin.com under tools. They loved Skubal over 8.5. It was minus 105. Bet it immediately. It's like minus 180 now. And the other one was Hunter Brown earlier today, over 6.5, minus 110. That's got up to like minus 135 now. So
good deal.
You can grade those at home.
Get the G-Bank Visa Signature Credit Card today, built with sports bettors in mind. While most credit cards treat sportsbook and gaming transactions as cash advances, even when you're using your own money, G-Bank treats them as regular purchases. That means no cash advance fees, saving you up to 3 to 5% on every deposit, plus you earn 1% cash back on all eligible sportsbook and gaming transactions, 2% cash back on everything else you buy. Apply now at vsin.com/GBank. vsin.com/GBank.
Donnie Miller on X. By the way, you can tweet the show at vsin live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Matt Youmans 24/7. Going back to your fast food rankings yesterday, he lives in Cincinnati. The buzz around town today, the Bengals purposely did not cover the number as a statement to Youmans leaving Skyline Chili.
I explained this yesterday. Skyline Chili falls into the diner category.
Okay.
I love Skyline Chili. It's in the diner category with Denny's and Waffle House.
I've never been.
You'll love it. Last time I went to there at Skyline Chili, it was a Cincinnati Reds game about 10 years ago, and I had 8 Skyline Chili dogs.
Holy Jesus.
Awesome.
Tim Murray, Will Hill, VSiN Primetime next. Have a good weekend.